This video contains violence and homicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Developing news in the case of a Birmingham firefighter who died after being shot on the job. The main suspect in the 5 Point South mass shooting, now facing charges in the death of Jordan Melton.
That's right. The man police believe is responsible for 2 mass shootings and multiple deaths, now accused in several other cases. At a press conference today, authorities announced Damien McDaniel is charged with the murders of Mia Nixon, who was gunned down in front of her home, Anthony Love Jr., he was shot and killed at a UPS facility where he worked, and Jordan Melton, one of 2 Birmingham firefighters who was shot at Fire Station 9 in Norwood in the summer of 2023. That murder has gone unsolved for 19 months.
In just 14 months, one man is alleged to have killed 18 people across multiple mass shootings, targeted hits, and brazen daytime attacks. This is the story of Damien McDaniel, the name behind one of Alabama's most shocking crime sprees. But who is he? How did law enforcement piece together these cases? And what does this say about crime, violence, and justice in Birmingham? Today, we unpack the complex, tragic, and disturbing saga of Damien McDaniel. He's accused of being one of Alabama's most dangerous men, linked to 18 murders in less than 2 years. From bar shootings to a firefighter's killing, investigators say Damien McDaniel turned Birmingham into a war zone. But how did one man allegedly carry out so many killings before being stopped? This is the story of Damien McDaniel, the many murders.
Straight out of swamp where the pain don't sleep, digging through the truth where the crime runs deep. From the bottom to the top, let the facts all spray. Welcome to the grind, this crime the Eway. The streets don't lie, they scream my name.
WVTM 13, breaking news is happening right now.
A man arrested, suspected in 3 homicide investigations over a matter of days in Birmingham.
That includes the mass shooting in 5 Point South. We've been following this story for weeks. It's been a little over 3 weeks since this happened in the 5 Point South area at Hush Lounge. WVTM 13's Gladys Bautista was at the news conference this afternoon with Birmingham Police Chief Scott Thurman. He spoke to the media and updated us on what was going on with those investigations. Several investigations are covering at the same time.
Yeah, and he also talked about how more than 300 tips in total through Crime Stoppers and to the police department really helped in determining what they needed to do today and those charges that they announced today. We want to get out to WVTM 13's Gladys Bautista. She was at that news conference, as we mentioned. Gladys, can you give us an update on everything you learned this afternoon?
Yeah, well, about an hour ago, we have learned that just after 3 weeks since the mass shooting in 5 Point South, police have finally made an arrest in that and in 2 other homicides that they say happened all within a matter of days. Take a look at the suspect that they say right now was connected to 3 separate homicides, including that mass shooting. This is Damien McDaniel III. He's charged with killing multiple people, as I mentioned, in just a matter of days. Now, let's do this in chronological order for you. On September 19th, McDaniel is now charged in the murder of DeAndronette Brown at a lounge on 9th Street North. Police say that Brown was an innocent bystander. 2 days later, on September 21st, police say McDaniel was one of what may possibly be multiple shooters who shot into a crowd of people standing outside Hush Lounge, killing 4 and injuring 17 others. Now, this rocked the city. Police vowed then that they would find those responsible. He is the first person to be charged for that shooting. And for that, he faces capital murder of 2 or more persons and 17 counts of attempted murder for those that were injured. The next day after that shooting, September 22nd, McDaniel is accused in the death of Jamarcus McIntyre on 81st Place South, for which he faces another capital murder charge. 3 others are also charged in McIntyre's death. Here's what Thurman says about the amount of work and cooperation that went into these arrests.
The number of hours that have been put into this investigation is astronomical. But I really applaud the men and women who stepped up to the plate to get it done. I mean, they've worked day and night for 3.5 weeks. So it's just tremendous.
Here's a statement from Mayor Randall Woodfin that he posted within the last hour. He says, after the horrific shooting at 5 Point South, we vowed that our priority would be to find, capture, and arrest every person responsible for this heinous and brazen mass shooting. We told you this is what we do, and this is what we did. Today was a major step towards justice. McDaniel is now being held without bond at the Jefferson County Jail. We're live outside the Birmingham Police Department for you this evening. I'm Gladys Bautista, WVTM 13.
First developing news in the case of a Birmingham firefighter who died after being shot on the job. The main suspect in the 5 Point shooting 5 Point South mass shooting, now facing charges in the death of Jordan Melton. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Guy Rawlings.
And I'm Brittany Decker. We have team coverage for you tonight. Magda Lusant is standing by at the fire station where Melton was shot.
But first, let's check in with WVTM 13's Lisa Crane, live and local outside the police department. Officers announced multiple new charges for McDaniel today. Lisa.
That's right. The man police believe is responsible for 2 mass shootings and multiple deaths, now accused in several other cases. At a press conference today, authorities announced Damien McDaniel is charged with the murders of Mia Nixon, who was gunned down in front of her home, Anthony Love Jr., he was shot and killed at a UPS facility where he worked, and Jordan Melton, one of 2 Birmingham firefighters who was shot at Fire Station 9 in Norwood in the summer of 2023. That murder has gone unsolved for 19 months.
While some of these investigations may require more time, rest assured that we are tirelessly working every day towards bringing perpetrators to justice with efficiency and meticulous work carried out by our homicide detectives.
Now, since the tragic shooting there at Fire Station 9, the department has adjusted its safety plans to make sure firefighters feel safe at work. WVTM 13's Magda Lusant is live right now outside the fire station in Norwood to tell us all about those changes. Magda?
So, Lisa, Chief Moon tells me when he took his position in 2020, they added cameras to all of the fire stations. But when Sergeant Jones and Jordan Melton were shot here at Fire Station 9, they knew there was more work to be done. On January 12th, Birmingham police say that Damien McDaniel walked into Fire Station 9 that morning and shot at firefighters Jordan Melton and Sergeant Jamal Jones multiple times. That day, authorities say the fire station was open to the public should anyone need help. Well, shortly after that shooting, Chief Moon said they closed the fire station down for a few months to allow employees to seek counseling. In between that time, he says they worked on expanding their safety plan and giving some first responders the option to come back to their post at Fire Station 9.
Magdala, thank you. And as we've mentioned, McDaniel now charged in 14 murders, a string of shootings taking place over a year. Police say it started on July 12th, 2023, when Jordan Melton and Jamal Jones were gunned down as they worked at that fire station in Norwood. On January 10th, 2024, McDaniel is now charged with killing Mia Nixon, I should say. The 21-year-old was shot and killed in front of her home in Crestwood. And in April, he's accused of targeting Anthony Love Jr., a UPS driver shot and killed as he walked to his car after work. On July 13th, 2024, the first of 2 mass shootings McDaniel is accused of at an event center in North Birmingham. 4 people died there, 10 others were hurt. He's also charged with killing DeAndronette Brown inside a club on 9th Street North. That was September 19th. And then just 2 days later, McDaniel is accused of opening fire in the 5 Points neighborhood as people stood in line outside a lounge. In that incident, 4 people died, 17 others were hurt. Now, in a statement, McDaniel's lawyer says they are ready to move forward with their defense in all of these cases, saying, quote, "We were aware there was further investigations going on that were separate from the pending cases, so we are not too surprised by the additional charges. The defense team will not be deterred from providing our client with a vigorous defense that our system of justice demands." Now, I spoke with the mother of the firefighter McDaniel is accused of killing, Rochelle Gaston Balone. She told me just before he died that her son, Jordan Melton, told her he felt called by God to help mentor young people who might be headed down the wrong path. And she is continuing his wish to do that. She has launched an annual event in her son's honor aimed at combating gun violence. The 2nd annual Jordan E. Melton Safety Summit is going to take place this Friday at the A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club.
The surprise was, man, he went so long without getting caught, and how many other murders happened during that time. That was the shocking part.
One step closer to justice. The fight for the family of a couple killed on Valentine's Day last year could soon come to an end.
Damien McDaniel is charged in the deaths of Christian Norris and Angeliyah Webster earlier this week. WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn talked to Norris's cousin about the long road ahead to closure for their families.
There's no answer that's going to make this feel better for us. No answer will make that feel better for us.
And for Sharita Wilson Clark, that's what makes her fight for justice that much harder.
I don't understand it. I don't think we'll ever understand it. In my head, I don't see a motive. All I see is my cousin and his pregnant girlfriend being murdered.
Wilson Clark's cousin, Christian Norris, and his pregnant girlfriend, Angeliyah Webster, were shot and killed around Valentine's Day last year. The man police say is suspected to be at the middle of at least 18 murders within 14 months, Damien McDaniel, is accused of taking the young couple's life.
Saying, oh, hey, we found this person. This may be the person that killed your loved one. That's just one part. There still has to be a guilty verdict.
When I talked to Wilson Clark back in February, a year to the day Webster and Norris went missing, she told me she had a feeling McDaniel may have taken her loved ones from her.
It took a little time to make sure to navigate that well. With him already having so many cases on him already, this was definitely a surprise to our family.
And if a guilty verdict comes, Wilson Clark knows that still won't bring them back.
There's no real closure. So when people say things like closure, like there's no closure, there's just survival.
In Birmingham, Aaron Llewellyn, WVTM 13.
Damien McDaniel now sits in a state prison awaiting trial, accused of one of the deadliest crime sprees in Alabama's history. Whether he's convicted or not, the story of the lives lost will forever haunt the streets of Birmingham. I would also like to send my condolences to everyone who was affected by his crimes. Let's take a moment of silence for the many victims of Damien McDaniel. I know this crime spree will never be forgotten by these families and community. I'm Crime the Eway, and this is your True Crime Breakdown. Like, comment, and subscribe for updates on the trial and other true crime stories.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Crime the Eway for more stories like these.